guys, this is Chris Harrington with DefianceFitness.com, bringing you video log number 3 today. Today I'm going to be discussing my nutrition on a road to a fitness model, and I'm also going to discuss nutrition in general, burning body fat, building lean muscle, and doing both at the same time. So currently with my nutrition, 5 days a week, I'm eating 450 grams of carb, 200 grams of protein, and 100 grams of fat. And 2 days out of the week, I'm doing 250 grams of carb, 190 protein, and 60 fat. So I also like to do a 3-2-1 approach, which means, let's say each meal is 600 calories. 3 parts of the 600 calories comes from carbohydrates. So that's 300 calories from carbs. 2 parts come from protein, so 200 calories of protein, and 1 part from fat, so 100 calories of fat. And carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram, and for fat there's 9 calories per gram. So supplementation wise, in the morning I'm taking 1 pill of carnitine, 1 pill of green tea extract, multivitamin, and fish oil. And before my workout, I'm taking base chain amino acids and ribose, so I'm taking 2 pills of each. And post-workout, I'm taking 3 amino acid pills, 2 BCAAs, and 1 fish oil. So I'm going to pull up MyFitnessPal, which is an application I use both on my computer and on my phone to track my calories and my macronutrient breakdown. And by macronutrient breakdown, I mean tracking your protein, fats, and carbs. And the cool thing about the phone app is there's actually a scanner on it, and it uses your camera where you can scan a barcode and pull up the nutritional information for any food that you're eating. So very easy way to track your calories and track your macronutrients. So this is my MyFitnessPal, and I'll talk a little more about this after. So as you can see with my MyFitnessPal, I'm eating 6 meals a day. So it's just an easier way for me to break it down. I'm not having to eat a ton of food at one sitting. So I started off the morning with a good amount of carbohydrates from fruits. Had some blueberries, bananas, quick granola bar, and some peanut butter. So the first meal was pretty low in protein and really high in carbohydrates and fat. And that was because that was my first meal in the morning right before a morning workout. So I wanted to have a lot of carbohydrates and fats to fuel my workout. Meal 2 was post-workout. So I had a whole can of pork and beans, and I had a can of tuna, and then I also grabbed a banana and mixed a little bit of mayonnaise just to get a good amount of carbs and get some protein post-workout, have some food with my supplements. A lot of the supplements that I'm taking should be taken with food. The third meal in the day, I was very active this day, so I wanted to have a lot of carbohydrates in every meal. And you can actually see at the end, my total, I went over my daily goal. And I had a little bit extra fat as well. And that's because I had done a lot of cardio that day, played a lot of basketball. So just ate some extra carbs, some extra fats, and maintained the 200 grams of protein that I was aiming for, just to be able to fuel my body. Meal 4, actually went to Wendy's and had some Powerade and some crispy chicken Caesar wrap, which no big deal, it's still fitting into my macronutrient breakdown. So, I'm not overly concerned with eating only, chicken and rice. That doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, it all breaks down to protein, fats, and carbs. So it doesn't really matter what you're eating. And then again, it does. If you want to talk micronutrient breakdown, if you're only eating processed food, you're probably missing out on some nutrients. But it's not going to hurt to have a meal here and there that's fast food maybe. Especially when you look at the rest of this, it's just lean meat, peanut butter, and fruits and vegetables. So the one meal number 4, it's not going to hurt any. It's just going to add to my calories like I was aiming for. With meal 5, had some, looks like a scoop of whey protein, a banana, and some tuna. I think that was coming before bed, kind of quick meal. And then meal 6, I had 2 cups of almond milk, some chicken breast, and an apple to finish off my macros. So by the time I get to meal 6, I'm usually just trying to fill in whatever's left over. And for that day, I had about 50-60 grams of carbs left over, 10 grams of fat, and 40 grams of protein, which I filled in meal 6. Here is my post-workout meal. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record my breakfast, but this is, as you guys saw in meal 2, this was the tuna, the pork and beans, and I believe the banana. So right after my workout, I like to get a good amount of carbohydrates in the meal, and also a little bit of fat and a good amount of protein. Now, a lot of people think that there's a specific window time frame after a workout where you have to get a certain amount of the protein, let's say, within 30 minutes after your workout. That's not necessarily true. You can see me here getting a can of tuna together, and I do that just to get my protein throughout the day, have a good amount in each meal, not specifically because it's post-workout. The pork and beans, carbohydrates, just to fuel my body. I've probably burned a lot of calories in the workout, probably burned a good amount of carbs, so just kind of carb load after a workout. That's what I usually prefer. So I'm just kind of preparing the meal here. Now, as I was mentioning about the whole window, as long as you're getting the amount of macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbs that you need throughout the day, it's not really going to matter when you eat them. It's really just going to matter about throughout the day that you're getting enough. So you could get, if you wanted, you could get 100 grams of protein in 2 meals and be done for the day. I don't really recommend that. It would be probably pretty difficult to eat that amount of protein in one sitting, but I prefer to divide up the meals, have, like I said, the 3-2-1 rule, 3 parts from carbs, 2 parts from protein, 1 part from fat. So you can kind of see that here with over 80 grams of carbs, about 30 grams of protein, and 10 or 15 grams of fat, with the mayonnaise that I put into the chicken of the sea, tuna I should say. So just kind of mixing that up and preparing the meal. Another thing too, people will say that you need the quick glucose after your workout, along with the protein. So for instance, as you can see in the background, the banana, I really don't believe that. I don't believe there's a specific window, and there's been scientific studies that show the window, you're still going to make the same results whether you hit this 30-minute window post-workout or not. I just prefer to eat right after my workout. I'm usually pretty hungry, and I'm usually pretty carb depleted and tired, even if I carb load in the morning, just because you burn so many calories in a workout, and it's good to replenish your body. So here I'll show you guys the supplements I have divided up. As I mentioned, I do some carnitine in the morning, green tea, fish oil, and a multivitamin. So that's in the morning. I have AM written on the pill container. And before gym, I have my ribose, which is a form of energy, as well as some BCAAs, some amino acids. Do some fiber every morning. It's a good supplement. The caffeine's there in case I need it for a good workout. Got some creatine that I actually already have loaded in my water, as you'll see. And post-workout is the amino acids, fish oil, and some BCAAs, the branched chain amino acids. So here was meal number 3, and this was after a lot of cardio, a lot of basketball. So I have 2 fruits there and a granola bar, as you can see. And I've been measuring all of my food in grams, so that's 230 grams of an apple, 140 for the banana, and I'll subtract 20 or 30 for the peel. And I'm having some steak. So originally it was 6 ounces of raw steak, but as that cooks you guys will see that it's actually less than that. So here I'm prepping meal 3, putting some spices on. Spices are good, they don't add any extra calories, and they can really make a meal taste a lot better. So I've got some pepper and some Mrs. Dash that I'm throwing on my steak. And I've got the scale ready, and I zero out the measurement of the plate. That way you can measure only the food. And you guys will see that the 6 ounces raw, once it's cooked, is actually only about 4 ounces of steak. So I'm measuring that right now. And here's where you can see it's only 4 ounces now, 4.2. So that was meal number 3. Get a little bit of protein and some carbs from after all the cardio. And this is the meal prepared. So this is meal number 5. And usually by the end of the day I realize that I haven't really had enough protein. It's kind of hard to get 200 plus grams of protein in my opinion. And when you're trying to build muscle, it helps to have the extra amount of protein, the 200 grams for me. I weigh about 171 pounds right now. So I've got a protein scoop and a can of tuna, which is about 40-50 grams of protein, and a little bit of carbs, and it's getting close to my last meal, meal number 5. So meal 6 is usually just trying to finish off my macronutrient breakdown when I look at MyFitnessPal. Just kind of grab something to fill the final macronutrients. So I grabbed some almond milk and had about 2 cups of that. And lastly, I'll have some more fruit before bed. It's a good source of carbohydrates, and some chicken. So that's sort of my meal breakdown, sort of what I'm doing for each day of the week. And I'm having, like I said, 3-2-1, 3 parts of carb, 2-part protein, 1 part fat. So measuring food and stuff, it's really not going to work for a lot of people. A lot of people won't have the amount of time, and a lot of people won't spend the time to measure all of their food, all of their meals. So one suggestion I would have is to pre-plan your meals and pre-measure it. So take 1 day out of the week and just measure your meals out, and get some Tupperware containers and have it already pre-planned, preset for 6 ounces of chicken, X amount of carbs and X amount of fat. So I would definitely recommend pre-planning meals, pre-cooking the meals, and just packaging them and having them ready for the day. That way you don't have to fry out the pan 5 or 6 times a day. You just do it all in one shot on like a Sunday before work, before the work week, and just get it done, get it out of the way. So with nutrition in general, I did want to discuss the whole macronutrient approach. So you see that I'm using MyFitnessPal. So rather than people think you have to eat shit to get fit, and that's just not the case, guys. This whole new movement a lot of people online or in the bodybuilding industry are into is, it's called If It Fits Your Macros. You'll see it abbreviated as IIFYM. So If It Fits Your Macros is a whole new approach where you're taking the amount of carbohydrates you should have in a day, the amount of protein, the amount of fats, and you're measuring your foods, and you're literally just fitting those macronutrients, where it doesn't really matter what you're eating as long as you're hitting those macronutrients. So, not to say that you just go and start eating burgers and ice cream. I mean, you could, but when we get to a micronutrient level, when we're talking vitamins and minerals, you may be shy on a few levels if you're just getting the burgers and ice cream. But it is a good way where you don't have to be as strictly disciplined in order to get healthy, stay healthy, and get the physique that you want, the physique that you've been desiring to attain. So it's not about just eating chicken and rice and water. I mean, that's no one wants to do that. The only people doing that are maybe professional level athletes that, you know, they want that exact fuel source, and maybe they've never even heard of the macronutrient breakdown. So you really don't have to eat shit to get fit. That's old school. This is the new world. This is the macronutrient approach. So you have to know what your macronutrient breakdown would be depending on how active you are, how much you weigh, male or female. There's many different ways to break it down to figure out how many calories you would need in order to reach your specific fitness level or physique. So that's a whole other topic. That would take hours, and that's completely personalized. It depends on the individual. So another point I wanted to go through is losing weight. This is going to be the last point for this video log. Losing weight. A lot of people who are trying to lose weight, they think that they just need to eat less. So let's take this as an example. You're 150 pounds and you eat 2,000 calories a day, and you think, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds. I'm going to get to 145 for whatever reason. So I'm going to eat 500 calories less per day. And people that know 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories, so they think, okay, 500 calories less 7 days a week, that's 3,500 calories. I can lose a pound a week, and in 5 weeks I'll reach my goal, right? So when you do the math, yeah, that will work out. However, that's just not the way it works. So you pull back from 2,000 calories a day to 1,500. Your body is going to go, okay, less food, you're now in starvation mode. So your body, your brain, you instantly think, and guys, this isn't conscious, this is on an unconscious level. This is just biology at work. When you cut your calories, your body slows down. Your metabolic rate slows down. Everything slows down because now you're not getting as much food as you were, and your body realizes that, and your body says, okay, now you're not getting enough food, so every process is going to slow down. Your heart, your blood, just everything will slow down, your metabolic rate. So now your body, instead of naturally maintaining at 2,000 calories, it's going to go back and only maintain at 1,500 calories. So when you try to lose that 5 pounds in 5 weeks by cutting 500 calories a day, 7 days a week, just not going to happen. It's not going to work. What's really going to happen is your body's going to slow, your metabolism is going to slow down, and you're going to be eating 1,500 calories a day, and you're not going to lose any weight. You're going to stay at the exact same weight that you were at. And even worse, for that matter, is when your body goes survival mode, like, okay, we're not getting as much food as we originally were, you'll actually preserve fat more often. It'll be easier to put on body fat when you eat. So if you cut your metabolic rate back 500 calories, now your body's naturally maintained your body weight at 1,500 calories. When you go to eat 2,000 calories, your body's going to store that as body fat. That's just the way it's going to work, because everything's slowed down for the survival process. And now when you think about it, all of a sudden, okay, I got more food. I now consumed more food. Your body's going to say, okay, I consume more food. But we don't know next time we're going to be in starvation mode. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, we'll be back to 1,500 calories. Those extra 500 calories, boom, stored as body fat. So that's why you cannot just cut calories to lose weight. People think it's that simple. I'll cut back more and more and more. Before you know it, you wrecked your metabolism. You're maintaining your body weight at 800 calories. So you destroyed your metabolism. Now, if you eat any more than that, you're gonna gain body fat. And if you eat any less than that, you're gonna end up killing yourself because you're not getting enough macronutrients and micronutrients. So losing weight, it's not about just cutting calories. And there's a lot more I can go into about that, but I'm going to end the video log here. It's been a pretty long video log. If you want any more information on losing weight, building muscle, you can check out thefinestfitness.com. If you're interested in personalized nutrition plans, personalized workout plans, the whole 9 yards, every possible personalized routine, macronutrient breakdown to get the physique that you want, you can check out the coaching or the membership section of thefinestfitness.com. Thanks a lot, guys.